The news came without warning. In the midst of a fragile truce with the Zatrians, a highly advanced alien race from the Epsilon Eridani system, three of Earth's top military generals, Admiral Elena Vargas, General Marcus Chen, and Commander Rafael Ortiz, were executed on live broadcast across the galaxy. Humanity's negotiators, present only in spirit via holographic representation, could do nothing. Their deaths were swift, brutal, and, according to the Zatrians, necessary to prevent further human aggression. The outrage was instantaneous. Social media exploded with outrage, even on colonies light years away. Earth's leaders convened an emergency council in the United Nations Space Command headquarters, located in orbit above the moon. President Anika Malik, whose calm demeanor had held humanity through decades of interstellar tension, addressed the assembly. "They have crossed a line," she said, voice resonating through the chamber. "Three of our finest leaders executed, not in battle, not in defense, but as a statement. Make no mistake, this is an act of war." It was not hyperbole. The Zatrians were notoriously calculating, their society governed by strict codes of logic, devoid of empathy as humans understood it. They considered warfare an art of efficiency and diplomacy a chessboard where any piece could be sacrificed. To them, the execution of the generals was a message. Humans were dangerous, but predictable. Earth, however, was unpredictable. Humanity had survived catastrophes that no alien intelligence could comprehend. Nuclear winters, climate collapse, near total pandemics, and through all, humans had endured. And now, Earth's people would endure no more. The first strike. Within 48 hours, the human defense fleet was mobilized. Over 600 ships, from massive dreadnoughts to stealth corvettes, moved in formation through the Soul Gate, a quantum slipstream that connected the solar system to interstellar highways. The fleet's commander, Admiral Tarek Sloan, gave the orders with grim precision. "Remember the generals," he said, addressing his officers. "Their lives were stolen. Today, we remind the galaxy that Earth does not negotiate with murderers." The first targets were Zatrian supply depots on Vega Prime and nearby outposts. These facilities were heavily shielded and defended by automated drones. Yet human ingenuity proved decisive. Engineers aboard the stealth frigate Dauntless deployed gravity disruptor bombs, causing entire supply platforms to collapse into the planet's atmosphere. The Zatrians responded with a mix of confusion and fury. Their intelligence networks were sophisticated, but they had underestimated human resilience and adaptability. For every base destroyed, they retaliated with drones and plasma strikes, yet the human fleet, coordinated through advanced AI, maneuvered around traps with precision. During the battle, Captain Layla Novak of the Intrepid remarked, "They may be stronger individually, but they're slow to adapt. We are chaos in motion." Her words became the mantra of the human fleet: chaos, unpredictability, and ruthlessness. Earth's resolve. On Earth, the mood was both somber and unyielding. Memorials for the fallen generals were broadcast globally, with citizens laying holographic flowers and pledging allegiance to the human cause. The executions had been a call to arms, and humanity answered in force. President Malik issued a historic declaration. "For every act of senseless brutality, there will be a response commensurate to its gravity. Humanity will not bow. Humanity will not cower. Humanity will fight." Scientists and engineers worked around the clock, adapting terrestrial weapons for interstellar combat. Orbital railguns, fusion torpedoes, and electromagnetic pulse satellites were deployed in orbit. Even the moon, once a scientific outpost, became a fortress of unimaginable firepower. Meanwhile, the Zatrians continued to broadcast propaganda. They claimed the executions were justified, an act of self-preservation against human aggression. Yet, their carefully constructed arguments fell flat. Humans were no longer negotiating. They were retaliating. The turning point. The war escalated to the Epsilon Eridani system, the Zatrians' homeworld. The first human landing forces touched down on the barren moons surrounding the planet. These moons were not defenseless. Automated turrets, energy shields, and patrol drones created a gauntlet for the invading humans. But humans were relentless. Using adaptive exosuits equipped with magnetic grapplers and quantum phase disruptors, squads bypassed defenses and planted destabilizing charges on critical energy nodes. Every explosion reverberated through the alien command network, causing cascading failures. It was on the fourth moon, Lasara 7, that the decisive moment came. Captain Novak's team discovered the Zatrian High Command Communications Array. Here, for the first time, humans had a direct line to the decision-makers who had ordered the executions. Novak sent a single message back to Earth, encapsulated in encrypted quantum packets. They cannot hide behind their logic any longer. They fear us. We own the battlefield. The psychological war. Human strategy evolved beyond pure military might. Earth's AI networks began disseminating subliminal signals, subtly disrupting Zatrian decision-making. By exploiting cognitive patterns the humans had observed in captured drones, the AI injected confusion, hesitation, and fear. The once unflappable Zatrian commanders began doubting their own calculations. On Lasara 7, Admiral Sloan addressed his fleet. Victory is not just about firepower. It is about breaking their certainty, their belief that they are untouchable. Humans thrive in uncertainty, and we will show them just how deadly that can be. The psychological warfare paid off. Zatrian forces, who had once executed humans without remorse, hesitated to fire. Commanders argued over the best course of action, while frontline units faltered, unsure whether orders were sound. Humanity exploited these fractures ruthlessly, combining surgical strikes with AI-directed feints, retaliation, and sacrifice. Yet, humanity paid a heavy price. Hundreds of ships were lost in the battles around the Epsilon Eridani system. Thousands of soldiers fell on moons and asteroids. Admiral Vargas's death, initially a rallying cry, became a symbol of human sacrifice. Each fallen soldier added weight to the anger that fueled the human fleet. During a critical engagement over the gas giant Zatra, Admiral Sloan himself barely survived a direct plasma strike from a Zatrian superdreadnought. He ordered the remaining fleet to focus fire, sacrificing smaller corvettes to take down the massive vessel. By the time the smoke cleared, the superdreadnought was in flames, drifting helplessly in orbit. The loss of human life was tragic, but necessary. Humanity was not fighting for conquest, it was fighting for justice, for vengeance, and for survival. The final confrontation. The culmination came at Epsilon Eridani Prime, the Zatrians' homeworld. The planet's defenses were monumental. Orbital cannons, plasma shields, and automated fleets numbering in the thousands. Yet, Earth had one advantage the Zatrians did not anticipate: humans were unpredictable. Admiral Sloan led the assault personally, aboard the flagship Vigilant. A carefully coordinated multi-vector attack split the Zatrian forces. While the main fleet engaged the orbital defenses, special assault units, equipped with teleportation-capable craft, infiltrated the planet's surface. Their mission: to capture or destroy the Zatrian High Council and deliver retribution for the executed generals. As the battle raged, the human forces used every tactic imaginable: orbital bombardment, asteroid diversion, cyber warfare, and even gravitational manipulation. Cities crumbled, energy grids failed, and Zatrian communication networks collapsed. It was chaos unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Finally, at the heart of Epsilon Eridani Prime, the assault team confronted the High Council. The council members, stoic and unyielding, realized too late that humanity's fury could not be reasoned with. One by one, they were neutralized, not with malice, but with the cold precision of justice long overdue. Earth's message. When the battle ended, the surviving Zatrians sent an emergency transmission to Earth. It was a message of surrender, tinged with fear. President Malik addressed the galaxy from the Lunar Broadcast Center. Her speech was brief, powerful, and unyielding. The executions of our generals were an affront to humanity. Today, we have answered not just with weapons, but with resolve, ingenuity, and courage. Let this be a lesson. Never underestimate humans. We do not forgive. We do not forget. And we do not yield. The galaxy heard and it understood. Aftermath. Epsilon Eridani Prime was left in ruins, a stark monument to the cost of misjudging humanity. Earth began humanitarian missions for surviving Zatrians, not out of mercy, but as a demonstration of the difference between justice and cruelty. Humanity emerged from the conflict changed. Militarily, it had reached heights unmatched in the galaxy. Politically, Earth became a power no alien society could ignore. Philosophically, humans had shown the universe that their greatest weapon was not technology alone, but resilience, ingenuity, and the unbreakable bond of collective will. For years afterward, the story of Admiral Elena Vargas, General Marcus Chen, and Commander Rafael Ortiz was told across human and alien colonies alike. They were not martyrs merely in death. They were symbols of a species that would fight to the very end. And the galaxy knew this truth. Execute 3 humans, and humanity will respond with total war. Years passed, and the scars of total war still marked the Epsilon Eridani system. Cities lay in ruins, moons were scarred by bombardments, and countless ships drifted in silent orbits, a testament to the cost of vengeance. Yet humanity had proven something far greater than its firepower. It had proven its will. On Earth, memorials were erected not only for the generals, but for every soldier who fell in the conflict. Statues of Admiral Elena Vargas, General Marcus Chen, and Commander Rafael Ortiz stood in the capitals of every major continent, their eyes cast toward the stars. Children learned of their courage, artists immortalized their sacrifice, and historians recorded the story in chronicles that would last millennia. President Anika Malik, now a symbol of human resolve, gave a final address during the unveiling of the Lunar Memorial of Martyrs. Let it be known across the cosmos, humans are not ruled by fear, nor do we negotiate through submission. Our strength lies not in weapons alone, but in our hearts, our courage, and our unity. Those who would threaten us will always remember the cost of their misjudgment. A galaxy transformed. The Zatrians, humbled and wary, rebuilt their civilization under a new doctrine. They abandoned their rigid codes of calculated cruelty, recognizing that unpredictability was the greatest weapon humanity possessed. Trade and diplomacy slowly resumed, but every transmission carried a trace of caution and respect. Other alien civilizations took note. Human resolve became legend. Treaties, once optional in interstellar politics, now included clauses ensuring that Earth's interests were never ignored. Humanity, once seen as a young and impulsive species, had matured into a force to be reckoned with, one capable of total war, but also, ultimately, justice. The final reflection. In the quiet of orbit above a still-recovering Epsilon Eridani Prime, Admiral Sloan watched the sunrise glint off the shattered moons. He remembered the faces of the fallen generals, the courage of his soldiers, and the unyielding fury that had driven humanity to victory. They thought executing 3 of us would stop Earth, he murmured to himself. Instead, it awakened everything that makes us human. That is a power they will never understand, and they never will. Down on the recovering Earth, children looked up at the night sky filled with stars, unaware of the full horrors of the conflict, but inspired by stories of courage and resilience. They dreamed not only of space, but of a world where humanity would never be underestimated again. The galaxy, once indifferent to Earth, now knew the truth. Humanity does not forgive. Humanity does not forget. And humanity, when pushed beyond the brink, will answer with total war. And in that answer, a new chapter of interstellar history was written, one marked by fire, sacrifice, and the unbreakable spirit of humanity.